In Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the story expands dramatically, introducing a second location that predates the original restaurant while deepening the tragedy surrounding the animatronics. This installment reveals that the haunting was not a single, isolated event, but part of an escalating pattern of violence orchestrated by William Afton. The game presents two primary groups of animatronics: the newer, more advanced toy models and the older, withered originals. Beneath their bright designs and facial recognition technology lies the same underlying horror: possession by murdered children. The toy animatronics were built as replacements for the older models, equipped with advanced systems meant to detect criminal activity. Ironically, these upgrades did not prevent further tragedy. Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica present exaggerated, glossy versions of their predecessors. Their wide eyes and plastic smiles are more artificial and unsettling. Lore strongly implies that these toy animatronics also became possessed after another set of children were murdered at this new location. Through hidden minigames, the player witnesses more children being lured away, suggesting a second wave of victims. The toy animatronics' hostility at night reflects this new tragedy. Though designed to protect, they instead become instruments of restless spirits. Toy Freddy serves as the redesigned mascot and central figure of the new lineup. Compared to the original Freddy, Toy Freddy appears rounder and more cartoonish, with glossy cheeks and bright eyes designed to appear approachable. Yet his behavior at night contradicts that intention. He becomes active and approaches the office from the main hallway, staring blankly through the darkness. While not the most aggressive of the toy animatronics, his presence reinforces the unsettling idea that no redesign can erase the past. Lore strongly suggests that Toy Freddy, like the others, becomes possessed after a second wave of murdered children. His advanced facial recognition system, intended to detect criminals, becomes tragically ironic. The technology meant to stop violence fails, and instead the spirit within lashes out indiscriminately at adults, possibly confusing them with their killer. Toy Freddy symbolizes corporate denial, a shiny replacement meant to cover up unresolved horror. Toy Bonnie stands out due to his exaggerated facial features and smooth plastic design. With larger eyes and a brighter blue color compared to the original Bonnie, he leans heavily into artificial perfection. However, this polished look enhances the uncanny effect. When Toy Bonnie appears in the office vents or directly in front of the player, his wide, unblinking stare feels unnatural and invasive. His movements are more erratic than Toy Freddy, and he frequently uses the ventilation system, bypassing the traditional hallway approach. This behavior suggests adaptability and persistence. Within the lore, Toy Bonnie is widely believed to be possessed by one of the newer victims from the second set of murders. The contrast between his cheerful daytime appearance and aggressive nighttime behavior reinforces the recurring theme of innocence corrupted. His plastic face, incapable of true expression, becomes a mask for anger and confusion beneath. Toy Chica is perhaps the most visually disturbing of the toy trio. Designed with a slimmer frame and large eyes framed by long lashes, she was meant to appear friendlier and more animated than her predecessor. However, during certain encounters, she removes her beak, revealing sharp internal endoskeleton teeth and hollow eyes. This transformation is symbolic. The removal of the beak strips away her friendly facade and exposes something predatory underneath. In gameplay, she frequently crawls through the vents, forcing the player to use the Freddy mask as defense. Her silent, close-range appearances heighten tension more than distant hallway threats. Lore interpretations suggest that Toy Chica, like Toy Bonnie and Toy Freddy, houses the spirit of a murdered child from the newer incident. Her shifting appearance between cheerful mascot and mechanical predator reflects the duality present throughout the series: outward celebration hiding inward tragedy. Mangle, originally known as Toy Foxy, differs significantly from the others. Mangle's form is disassembled and reassembled repeatedly by children during the day, resulting in a chaotic tangle of wires and parts. Unlike the polished stability of the other toys, Mangle represents instability and damage. Suspended from ceilings and moving in unnatural, spider-like motions, Mangle creates a sense of physical unpredictability. The lore surrounding Mangle's possession remains debated, but it is strongly implied that this animatronic, too, becomes inhabited by a victim of the second tragedy. Some theories connect Mangle to the infamous bite of '87, suggesting that its unstable design may have contributed to a daytime attack. Symbolically, Mangle represents the failure of control. Built as a child-friendly attraction, and then torn apart through careless handling, it becomes something monstrous not only because of spiritual possession, but because of neglect and constant reconstruction. Its distorted radio-like audio and multiple voices further blur the line between machine malfunction and supernatural presence. Together, the toy animatronics illustrate the futility of superficial solutions. New designs, brighter colors, and advanced technology cannot erase violence that has already occurred. Each toy character reflects a different aspect of corporate image management collapsing under hidden crime. Their possession reinforces the central tragedy of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The cycle of murder did not end with the first incident, and the spirits of the newly lost children now move within plastic shells built to replace what was already broken. The second game also introduces Balloon Boy, a smaller humanoid animatronic whose behavior differs from the others. While not directly lethal, Balloon Boy disables the player's flashlight, indirectly enabling other animatronics to attack. His childlike laughter and taunting presence add another layer of psychological stress. Though his possession status is less explicitly defined, many interpretations suggest he too is connected to the wave of murdered children. The Withered animatronics, Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and Withered Foxy, are the earlier versions of the original cast. Damaged, exposed, and partially dismantled, they represent the aftermath of the first missing children incident. Their broken appearances reflect both physical decay and lingering trauma. Withered Bonnie's missing face is especially symbolic, stripping away identity and revealing bare endoskeleton beneath. These animatronics are haunted by the first group of victims, linking the second game directly to the events that will later define the first game's setting. Another crucial figure is Golden Freddy, who appears again in spectral form. In this installment, Golden Freddy's presence becomes more clearly tied to a powerful spirit often associated with the name Cassidy. Golden Freddy manifests without physical logic, appearing and disappearing unpredictably, reinforcing the supernatural nature of the hauntings. Unlike the toy models, Golden Freddy does not seem bound by technological rules, suggesting a spirit fueled by intense vengeance. One of the most significant additions in this game is the puppet, also known as Marionette. Unlike the others, the puppet is directly tied to the origin of the haunting. Through minigames, it is revealed that a child, widely believed to be named Charlotte Emily, was killed outside the restaurant and left in the rain. The puppet, designed as a security prize corner attraction, found her body. It is strongly implied that the puppet's spirit became possessed by Charlotte, and that she in turn gave life to the other animatronics by allowing the murdered children's souls to inhabit them. This makes the puppet a central spiritual force in the series. Rather than acting purely out of rage, the puppet appears protective and purposeful. Its slow crawl toward the office and tear-streaked mask give it a sorrowful, almost mournful presence. The puppet is less chaotic than the others. It feels intentional, as though guided by a mission to confront wrongdoing. Perhaps the most infamous event associated with this era is the Bite of 87, a violent incident in which an animatronic severely injured a person during the day. While the exact culprit remains debated, this event led to major changes in company policy and the eventual scrapping of certain models. The bite represents the public breaking point of what had been hidden horror. The violence could no longer be contained within night shifts and shadowed hallways. In total, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 reframes the series' story. It reveals that the hauntings stem not just from isolated malfunction, but from a chain of murders, spiritual intervention by the puppet, and systemic corporate negligence. The animatronics are victims as much as they are threats. Their aggression is the echo of stolen childhoods. The bright lights and toy-like redesigns cannot conceal the rot beneath the surface. Instead, the second game makes clear that the horror is generational, compounding, and deeply rooted in the actions of one man whose crimes ripple outward into metal, wires, and restless souls.